guys, Brad with Everything Main Fishing here. Just want to do a quick review on my new vise that I just purchased. This is the Renzetti Presentation 2000. I wanted to take a few minutes to go over some of the features and some of the things that I like about this vise. So if you're looking into buying this particular vise, or any Renzetti vise for that matter, this hopefully will help your decision. So one of the reasons why I decided to do a review on this vise is because there's a lot out there on the Renzetti Traveler series vices, but there really isn't much on the Presentation vices. So this is the 2000, like I said. There's a 2000, 3000, and 4000. So I'll tell you why I bought the 2000 over those other two models, and I'll explain some of the reasons why I went with this vise over other vices. So like any good vise, we'll start from the ground up, the base. That was a big factor in me purchasing the Presentation 2000 over the Traveler series. The base is much larger and is a lot more stable. And if you read the reviews on the Traveler series vices, they are phenomenal, but one of the big complaints is that the base is just too small and there's some tipping issues. So with this particular base, it's heavy, it's big enough that you don't have any issues with that. One of the other things that I really like about this particular vise is you have this non-slip material on the bottom. So when that's planted flat on your desktop or your tying bench, it doesn't move. It'll move my bench before it moves. So that's a great feature. It doesn't slide around a lot. When you put it where you want it, it stays there. So this also is offered with the clamp feature. Me personally, I like tying with a base, so that's what I chose. Another great feature about this base is the cutouts that it has for hooks and beads and things like that. When I'm tying multiple flies, I like to have my materials at the ready. So I'll pull all my hooks out, all my beads out, and I'll set everything in here. And it's just really nice to have that there, so you can just reach down, grab what you need, and keep on tying. So moving up, one of my other favorite features about this is the fact that the stem detaches from this particular piece right here. All you have to do is turn this screw, like so, and this comes right out. On the peak that I had, you had to undo an Allen on the side, which wasn't a big deal, but this is nice because you can just take it right out. If you have a hackle gauge, which I have mine over here, but if you have a hackle gauge and you want to take it off, or you want to add other accessories, or you want to just hang something off there, it's as simple as undoing that, and you can pull your stem right out, which is really nice. Also, if you wanted to change the angle or move this around, you can certainly do that as well. Moving up to the bobbin cradle, also a big benefit on a lot of the Renzettis, or most of them, is the bobbin cradle. It's one of the better bobbin cradles that I've seen, and one of the big reasons is because of the adjustability. You can adjust this little white set screw right here, which will take your bobbin cradle up and down. It also will keep it from moving too freely. You can snug it right up, put a lot of tension on it, or you can make it so that it spins easily. Generally I have mine set, so that it's got a little bit of resistance, but not too much, so I can move it out of the way. One of the other nice features is the other set screw that it has on it. You can unscrew this and slide your cradle in and out, or if you like to tie like that, you can loosen that and just set it out of the way and pull it back up if you want. Generally, I push it out of the way like that, but that option is always available. It's always nice to have that adjustability because you never know what situation you might want to use that in. So another great thing about this bobbin cradle is you have this down here to stop it from sliding down. You have this little collar, and what that does is when you spin your bobbin cradle around a bunch of times, it prevents it from sliding down or making its way down the stem of the vise, so that this will keep it always in line where you want it. So it's nice to have that as well. Moving up to the top part of the vise, of course, like with any Renzetti, the rotary function is key. It's very smooth, everything works great. When you buy this Renzetti out of the box, there's an Allen set screw inside of here, and this vise will actually ratchet right out of the box. I didn't like that, and I've read a lot of reviews, people don't like that, so all you have to do is back that black screw off all the way. It does come with all the Allen keys that you need to do so. Back this black screw out so that you can adjust this knob, tighten this knob all the way down, put your black screw back in, and you'll have the rotation both ways. So before it would only ratchet one way. I didn't like that, so I changed that. But it is there if you did want to do that. Of course, you have your tension screw for the rotary function. You can have it loose or you can tighten it up. Generally, I like to have a minimal amount of resistance so that if I want to look at the bottom, it'll stay where I want it. But everything works smoothly, everything rotates perfectly and works well. Another big feature on this particular vise is this knuckle right here. What that does is it allows you to move your jaw to different angles for larger and smaller hooks. I tie a lot of 14 to 18, maybe a 10, 12 occasionally. I tie a lot of nymphs and dries, so where I have it now is generally where I like to keep it. So I have that tightened so that it doesn't move. But if you wanted to keep this just loose enough so that you can move this knuckle up and down, if you were tying, different size hooks, if you're going from a size 14 to a 1, obviously, what that would do is it would make it so that your rotary is not on the same axis, so your hook would wobble. So what that allows you to do is you can adjust it so that when you're if you're using your rotary function to put on hackle or a ribbing, it'll keep it nice and even. So, but like I said, I have it tightened right now so that it doesn't move, which is also nice to be able to do because I don't use that an awful lot. So it's nice to have that because if I am tying something larger, I have that adjustability. So it's really nice to know that it's there. The jaws themselves and the lever mechanism are what I really like about this vise. This particular setup is very similar, if not the same, to all the Renzettis. You have your set screw right here, which allows you to adjust your hook size, and you just lock your cam up. What's really nice about this setup, a lot of different things actually. We'll start with the lever mechanism. It's very smooth. You've got roller bearings inside of here that allow this to work flawlessly. You can put hooks in here, make your adjustment large, small, and it just flips right up. There's not a lot of force. You just clip it right in, and it holds hooks better than any vise that I've ever used. Another great thing about this is how small the head is. This is one of the big things that I liked about this vise over the Peak that I used to have, is the Peak had kind of a bulky head, and when you were tying really small flies, you get into those 18s and 20s, it could kind of get in the way and it would kind of block up a lot of that space for that small hook. So this really small head makes it really nice for tying small flies. You have a lot of room to maneuver in and out of here, which is really nice. So, and like I said, it holds hooks better than I've ever seen, from small hooks to large hooks. And the adjustability is almost infinite. I mean, you can fit some really, really big hooks in here. Not that I do, but the adjustability is there if you need it. So overall, I absolutely love this vise. I've been tying on it for about a month, and I don't see myself having to upgrade to a different vise. Now, I mentioned earlier in the video that the Presentation series has a 2000, 3000, and 4000. So I spent a lot of time looking into those different models. And I bought the 2000 not really on price point, but because it fit what I really wanted to do. If the 3000 or 4000 fit what you want to do, great. But this particular vise for the money is one of the most complete vices I've seen. It's a $300 vise as opposed to the $150 Peak that I was using, which is a great vise, don't get me wrong. But there are some features about this that I definitely like over the Peak. The rotary is a little bit smoother. The cam locking action is a little bit smoother. I like this bobbin cradle over that. I like the base over the Peak base. Not that the Peak is a bad vise. It's a phenomenal vise for the money. But if you're looking to step up into a Renzetti, particularly the Presentation 2000, I would highly, highly recommend it. One of the reasons why I really wanted to do a review on this particular vise is because there isn't a lot of information out there about it. The Traveler series vices are so popular that there's a multitude of different places to find information on that. But on the Presentation 2000, which I personally believe is kind of an overlooked vise, I kind of stumbled upon it by accident when I was looking for vices, because like most of you, I did a ton of research before I bought it. So with that being said, if you have any questions, please comment. I'd be happy to try and help you out the best that I can. If you have any questions about how it works or what I like or don't like about it specifically, please go ahead and ask me. That's what this whole channel and this whole review is about, is to try to help you make an informed decision on if you want to buy it or not. If you don't want to comment or you want to email me privately, everythingmainfishing@gmail.com. I'll try to get back to you as soon as I can. I'll try to help you out with any questions you may have the best that I can. Like I said, it's still fairly new to me. I've been tying on it for about a month, but I've tied a lot on it, and I feel really comfortable in saying that I know this vise inside and out, and it's definitely worth the $300 for sure. It's really mid-level priced compared to some of the higher end vices like the Renzetti Master Series, for instance. But for what it is and for what I do, it's really perfect. It suits everything that I need it to do. And for $300, I'll probably have this Vise for 20 years. Renzetti has a great name, and I have a lot of friends that tie on these that have had them for years and years and years and have had to do nothing to them. So, like I said, a great Vise. I would highly, highly recommend picking it up. If you have any questions, again, please feel free to ask me. Thanks for watching, guys.